What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Totally Random. In this episode, I am going to be talking about Psycho, one of my all-time favorite movies, and a movie that I just have to talk about on this channel before I die, or before the channel, stops being updated with videos twice a week. Now, Psycho is directed by Alfred Hitchcock. It came out in 1960. It was black and white, and it was made for like $860,000, which wasn't even a lot of money to make a movie with at that time even, so yeah. Basically, this movie is about Marion Crane, played by the one and only Janet Leigh, who is a secretary working in Phoenix, Arizona, who works for like a small business. I don't know, it's never really explained and it's not really that important. Anyway, she has a boss that gives her $40,000 and says, you need to put this in the client's bank account or whatever. And she says, nope, I'm just gonna take this $40,000 for myself. Goodbye, suckers. So she goes on the run with the $40,000, and after traveling for a long time, she comes across Bates Motel and she says, meh, this motel is as good as any. And then she meets Norman Bates. Now, at first sight, Norman Bates looks like a pretty cool guy. He's sort of weird, he eats candy corn, he behaves like a teenager even though he's probably 35, and yeah. And from then on, it's basically a mystery and people are trying to figure stuff out. And I can't really talk about what happens for the rest of the movie without saying what happens. Now, this movie is genius for so many different reasons. In fact, I'm probably going to call this video Why Psycho is Genius. And the first reason why it's genius is Alfred Hitchcock. He's just a great director, and with this movie, he took on such a unique tone. Like, the tone of this movie is constantly creepy. Like, the opening credits of this movie, there's this really loud score, and there's opening credits. We'll talk more about the score later, but it's like really intense, and then it gets really slow paced, and then it gets really intense in the latter half of the movie. Alfred Hitchcock just had such a consistent tone with this movie of unrest and not knowing certain things and thinking some things are what they appear to be, but they're not. And so many movies nowadays, they're just so tonally inconsistent. Like, they're dramas and action movies and soap operas all in one, but Psycho was consistently like unnerving and unsettling, and it makes me like shiver. This movie is also incredibly well written for like every single reason a movie can be well written. See, back then, like 50 years ago back then, a lot of movies were just really boring in terms of dialogue. Like, they were very slow moving, and I assume 50 years ago those movies were very entertaining. But nowadays, people don't really have big attention spans, and the fact that Psycho still has dialogue that people can be entertained by today, that's saying something, because the dialogue in this movie is just amazing. Another reason why this movie is so amazingly great is the acting. Oh my goodness. The acting by everybody is mainly good, but Anthony Perkins as Norman Bates, why am I doing this, is so great I can't even explain it. Like, everything that he does, from line delivery to his little face mannerisms at the end when he's smiling like a creepo, it's so amazing. And that's what actors should do. Actors in movies today aren't just there to say some lines and to get it over with and to pass the time, basically. They are there to give a performance that the audience can get invested in, and that's what Anthony Perkins did in this movie so well. He was amazing. Now, another thing worth noticing about this movie is the absolutely flawless score by Bernard Herrmann. Like, how could you make a score like that? I'll put a link to the musical score in the description of this video, and I'll probably forget, because even if you haven't seen the movie, nobody can deny that this music is absolutely amazing. It makes you unsettled, it makes you uncomfortable in certain places, and it's just so amazing. A major theme in this movie is birds, and how birds are really creepy, like with the taxidermy in Norman Bates' office and all that. It's so great, but birds are very important for another reason. the cinematography. I actually had the privilege to critically study this movie at a film camp that I went to this summer, and we watched Psycho, and we were actually analyzing how the cinematography sort of reflects bird's eye views in some cases. Like, there's a lot of scenes where the camera goes up to the ceiling and it's looking down at this room, and it's so creepy because birds are creepy, and since birds are a major theme in this movie, it just fits with the cinematography and everything. It's just great. And if you mix flawless directing, writing, acting, music, cinematography, and everything that makes a movie good together in one movie, you get Psycho, or a flawless movie. And that is why Psycho, to this day, is remembered and consistently shocks and terrifies audiences. And that's why it's one of my all-time favorite movies. If you've seen Psycho, tell me what you thought of it below. And if you haven't seen Psycho, please do. And come back and tell me what you thought of it later. But anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. Totally random. And if you did, please leave a like. If you like movies or good movies in general, please hit the like button. And if you like my channel, please subscribe. And I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.